Hey guys, and welcome back to the 12 Days of Crochet Christmas. Over the past few weeks, I've been sharing quick, beginner-friendly patterns that were great for gifting for the holidays. And today is bittersweet because it is the last day of the 12 Days of Crochet Christmas. In today's tutorial, we will learn how to crochet this Santa gift card holder. If you've been enjoying this series so far, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any videos in the future. For today's tutorial, you will need a medium weight yarn and the colors red, black, white, a little bit of yellow, and then green is optional. I'm using Bernat Super Value for this tutorial. You will also need a 5mm crochet hook, a tapestry needle, and a pair of scissors. To get started, we're going to create a slip knot and chain 11. Now single crochet into the second chain from your hook. So we have 1, 2, and now to single crochet, insert your hook into that second chain, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both loops. Now single crochet into each of the next 8 chains. Now place 3 single crochet all into this last chain here. So now we're going to be working on the opposite side of the foundation chain. So we were like this, and now we're going to flip it around and work along this side. Now single crochet into each of the next 8 chains. So here's your next one. And if you can see, we're working under both of those strands. Now place 2 single crochet into that very last chain there. Now slip stitch to the very first single crochet of the round. Now for round 2, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet in each stitch around. And you should have 22 stitches in this round. At the end of round 2, you're going to slip stitch into that very first stitch of the round. And remember that this stitch here is a false stitch. It's our slip stitch from the previous round. And this here is our chain 1. So we're going to skip both of those and slip stitch into that very first stitch of the round. Now for rounds 3 through 6, we're going to repeat round 2 by chaining 1 and single crocheting in each stitch around. By the end of round 4, it'll be a little bit more difficult to insert your hook into these stitches, and that's because our work is actually inside out. So what you'll need to do is just flip it right side out and then continue working that way. At the end of round 6, you're going to switch colors to black. So to do that, you're going to insert your hook into that very first stitch of the round, drop your red yarn. If you need a slower tutorial for changing your yarn color, I'll leave a link for that video in the description. And now you're going to chain 1 with your new yarn. You can either cut your red yarn and weave it in, or you can save it for when we change it for later. So I'm just going to let mine hang, and then I'll show you how I'll change it back. So with your black yarn, you're going to continue doing the same thing you've been doing. Chain 1 and single crochet in each stitch around for rounds 7 through 9. So the next 3 rounds. At the end of round 9, we're going to switch back to our red color. So to do that, again, we're going to insert our hook into that first stitch of the round. So because I never tied off my red yarn, I'm just going to bring it back over and pull it through. And if you cut your red yarn, just change your yarn the same way we did before. Now chain 1, and again for rounds 10 through 14, we're just going to chain 1 and single crochet in each stitch around. So we'll do this for the next 5 rounds. Go ahead and cut your black yarn if you haven't already, and you can crochet over the tail to weave in your ends, or you can just weave them in with a tapestry needle. So I will meet you at the end of round 14. At the end of round 14, we're going to change to white. So again, insert your hook into that first stitch, grab your white yarn, and pull it through that stitch. And then chain 1. And you can go ahead and cut your red yarn because we're all done with that. Now with our white yarn, we're going to chain 2. So you should have 2 chains there. And we're going to double crochet in each stitch around. And that chain 2 does not count as a stitch. To do a double crochet, you'll yarn over, insert your hook into that very first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I'll show you a couple more times. Now for round 15, we're going to chain 2 and double crochet in each stitch around. At the end of round 15, we're going to slip stitch into that first double crochet of the round, chain 2, and then for rounds 16 and 17, we're just going to repeat round 15. So that's double crocheting in each stitch around. So I will meet you at the end of round 17. At the end of round 17, you're going to slip stitch to your first double crochet of the round. And now we're going to tie off and weave in our ends. To tie off, you're going to cut your yarn, leaving a few inches so you can weave them in later, and then yarn over and pull that strand all the way through, and pull tight to secure. So there you have the base of your gift card holder, but we're not quite finished yet. The next thing we're going to do is create the buckle. To do that, we're going to grab our yellow yarn and our tapestry needle, and we're just going to create a little square to go around here. And after you're done with your buckle, you can go ahead and weave in your ends for the yellow yarn. Now we're going to create the drawstring. This is where I said that the green is optional. You can create the drawstring with any color that you'd like. So to create this drawstring, we're just going to grab our yarn, create a slip knot, and chain 70. After you have 70 chains, go ahead and cut your yarn and pull that strand all the way through. And now you have your drawstring. Now to attach our drawstring, we're going to thread it with a tapestry needle. Oops. And we're going to start weaving in and out of the double crochets in the second white round, right here. You want to start about in the middle and just weave in and out of each stitch around. Now I went ahead and tied these tight just so at the ends I could cut that yarn. So just go ahead and tie a little knot at the end and you can cut it off. And now you can tie it on up. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial for these little gift card holders. Tag me on Instagram at Sigoni Macaroni or inside the Facebook group with all of your makes. And remember that over the past few weeks, I've been sharing quick, beginner-friendly patterns that were great for gifting for the holidays. And today is bittersweet because it is the last day of the 12 Days of Crochet Christmas. Thanks for sticking around with me these past few weeks, and I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any videos in the future. Happy holidays!